Took me a second. Sorry. It's it has been a while, and welcome back. Why is it with my? It's like my lip is red or something. Oh, it's my mustache. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're here. I was so confused. All right. Cool. Cool, cool. We're here. There. All right. We're back. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, guys, welcome in. Sorry, it's taken me a bit. I kind of have to get used to all of this again. It's been a minute, you know. Life is what it is, you know. I've got a kid now, so my responsibilities are elsewhere. This might look strange on the screen. Let's just zoom it in a bit. Probably looks a little bit better. Anyways, welcome to Trade Skills. If you are an old school viewer, if you've watched it a long time ago, then you know that I used to interview people and drink beer, and Jake and I did that, and it was a good like 5 to so many years. I don't remember exactly how long we did it, but we did it for a while, and I've moved since. I'm hoping to eventually not have to keep telling you guys this stuff every time, but here, we'll do that. Yeah, so I'm hoping to eventually not have to tell you guys every time kind of how the show has changed. We've detoured a bit, and basically I am learning new skills. So I've coined this path to Polymath, and if you don't know, a Polymath is somebody who is extremely good at a lot of things, and that is my goal. So instead of me just interviewing these talented people, which I will do, you know, at the end of the Polymath series, I'm going to learn these skills, and then once I get to a proficient level, I'm going to go on somewhere else and learn a different skill. So currently I am doing wood carving, woodworking. I like that I grabbed my gloves and then left them upstairs. So baby, if you're watching, I know it might be annoying, but I might need you to bring them to me. I see you're down there watching, so please. Anyways, so I've worked a couple things learning wood carving. So simple things, you know, carving like little cardinals sitting on wood logs, and this is like a boxy bear that I was attempting to do. It's like a little frog person. I did an alien cowboy. Yeah, I kind of just free shot him, so that's how he turned out. And currently I said, you know what, let's just do just a straight up alien. So this is where I'm at currently. This is his head, obviously body. That heart is going to drive me crazy. Keeps popping up. It says every time I do this, which, I mean, even if I do things that aren't necessarily like that, I guess it reads it as that. Anyways, I have to son of a bitch. That's going to be like his chest. I want like just a big rib cage, and then a small like little stomach, and then I'm going to carve these arms out here, and yeah, so I'm going to touch it up a bit. But welcome back if you haven't been in a while. I know I haven't been in a while, so welcome back. One of the first things we do is we strop our blade, so we get this bad boy nice and sharp. A sharp blade is paramount in carving, especially with wood like this, which, mind you, this is basswood, so this is kind of like the thinnest or the easiest of the easy. This is that bread and butter wood, but yeah, there are definitely much harder woods. So a great starter wood is basswood. So I'm guessing she heard me because I can kind of hear it. Yeah, there she is coming down the stairs. So I'm basically just dropping my blade a bit. Did you find them, babe? Oh, she's just gonna toss them. They can't see you. You just didn't want to have to go around? Okay, thank you, love. I got her up from the comfort of the couch to come help me out. Izzy. Stinker. That was a very short little nap. Oh, yeah, sorry. Hey, Donald Malley, what's going on? S. Chipper joined. How's it going? Thank you for tuning in. So I am on multiple platforms right now, so I'll kind of just address you by name, or I will address you by the color of the platform that you are commenting on or popping in on that I see you on. So I'm on blue, I'm on purple, I'm on red, I'm on the little T. I don't really know what the color you would call that. I can't call it black because there's others, but you know. But either way, we are stropping the blade. So a dull blade will slice you, it will tear your wood up, so not ideal for wood carving. You want a nice, clean, controlled cut. And yeah, so that's just kind of what we're doing. It's been a while since I've been on. It's probably been, I don't know, it's probably been 2 months. Probably 2 months since I've been on. Just life, you know. I went home at one point, and then working and side projects and family, and, you know. Mondays are one of my days off, but they are also days that you kind of got to get shit done, you know, because you work the rest of the week mostly, so when you do have a day off, you got to get shit done. And whenever I used to be able to just, you know, do stuff, but I like things better now. I'm prioritizing family over the show. I still love you guys though. Kelly, what's going on? John, Clementer, OG. This blade's nice and stropped up. These are probably the only blades I'm going to use tonight. These are kind of just my tried and trues. And I mean, I do have tons of other blades. They're over there, but I'm not making a spoon, and I don't think I'm going to need to do some deep gouges or really need a chisel. So I think these should suffice. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's carve on this bad boy some more. Pooh, what is up, Pooh? So right now what I'm trying to do is create a little depth from this, I guess you guys can't see it there. I want to create a little depth in this arm here. And I'm not in any sense like a master carver, but that's, you know, kind of the point of this show is that I am not good at it, and it will take time for me to get good. So we just whittle away. Suppose I should change the camera view. There we go. So you guys can actually see over here. I need to create some depth back here with this arm. I tried, I would say like a week ago, I was in here. I think I was like maybe charging up the Steam Deck or something. And I came in here just to kind of fiddle whittle a little. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I need to create a large gap right here. Let's take this down some. We need to create a large gap in between here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this guy and we're going to drill a hole in there, you know, and we'll go through and but I mean, these are like the shittiest fucking like micro tools. It's one of those things. I was duped. I was like, oh dude, a great little drill, and it's got like a polisher and it's got all these little things with it, but it's just not powerful. And honestly, if I would have thought sensibly, really how powerful can something this big be? But I was like, that's what I'll do. I'll just drill a hole through and then just clean it up. But I mean, this would take eons. Yeah. But that initially was my idea, is I was just going to drill a hole in here. Kind of save myself time, you know, cut a corner. That's what I get for trying to cut corners. I see a lot of professionals do it though, to be honest. I see guys come in and they'll have a big block and they'll draw what they want on there, and then they'll get on the bandsaw and cut out the initial shape and then move it from there. So they really are just shaping it up at that point, or really cleaning it up, doing the finer details. Oh, I'm an idiot. Thank God I have these these knives on, gloves. Team Allen, ready to invite you to co-host. I don't know who Nandy Original Blacks is. Sure, I've never done that before. Let's try it out. Well, it went away. Oh well. Sure. Oh God. There's a guy back here that's... Okay. Oh. All right, so you guys gonna say some stuff that's gonna get my account banned? Oh boy. This is what I get. This is what I get for trying things out. Raha Black. I don't know what this guy is saying. Don't know what this guy's saying, but hopefully it's not gonna get me banned. Somebody's giggling, goofy ass in the background. It sounds kind of like Spanish, but then also kind of Portuguese. Kind of Spanish, kind of Portuguesa. Just got this guy's random face on here. Hoi. Hoi. That's what this guy sounds like. Palo. Hello, where are we from? U.S. The United States. What? This is what I get for accepting random people. I thought it could be interesting. It was interesting. Kind of reminds me, I thought I wasn't going to use another tool, but here we are. I would say, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I had on Chris Morrell, who had, I think it was like a Revolution dog training. I should have really sharpened this up before I started doing this. But yeah, so he did dog training, and I got attacked on the show by a dog, controlled, obviously. Like I was wearing the gear, and he showed me kind of anyways, I had my phone number on the show at that time, because I didn't care if it was a number I didn't know during not work times, not show times. I would just block it or ignore it. Anybody who needed to get in touch with me knew how to get in touch with me. But during the show, this guy called up. I was like, hey, I'm accepting calls. And then they, sure enough, called up. And it was this guy just trolling. He knew all of this information about Chris. I'm assuming he was a friend of Chris. And, yeah, so I'm assuming he was a friend of Chris. And he was just talking all kinds of shit. And I don't know if Chris ever found out who it was, or it could have been somebody who was a hater of Chris, but he knew a lot of personal data. He knew where Chris used to live. He knew his ex-wife. But it is a small town, so these things aren't very hard to. Why does that keep popping up? Because I sure as hell am not clicking on it. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry, Red platform. Yeah, this isn't ideal to this whole situation over here is not ideal. Yeah, the whole situation over there is not ideal. So I'm using essentially a 2008 laptop because my monitor died on me, and I want to be able to read comments and still use the mouse and use the keyboard to contact and control the desktop back there, what's doing all the work. So my monitors went out. I couldn't get them working, which means I had no control. I had to basically every time anything seemed funky or anything was breaking, I had to get up out of the seat and go around to check OBS to make sure everything was running properly. Not ideal. And I know you're gonna say monitors are really cheap. I know. I've got 2 of them over there, and I've got probably 4 dead ones in that back room back there. So I definitely know they are cheap, but currently I only have 2 working monitors. And yeah, so I'm using this super old laptop from 2008, my old laptop when I went to college, and I'm using an app on it. It's technically a spy webcam app. You can basically make your computer a webcam, and anytime anything motion picks it up, the webcam will turn on, so you can monitor people are going into your room, or if you have any break-ins and they don't steal your computer, or you have it hidden or something, that you can kind of keep an eye on shit. But you can input a source in there, and it will take the source from my computer, which is great. It's a little laggy, and every once in a while my computer tries to go into a screensaver mode, so not ideal. but it works. Taking some meat off the potatoes over here. I'm trying to thin up this arm, or at least create some depth. I think this arm's a little forward pacing. Let's make it, let's flatten this out a bit. I have not carved in a little while, and it shows. So I'm trying to find a good spot for the arm. Actually, I suppose I could just take off the material right here to place the arm. Yeah, like I said, I'm by no means a professional at this. But that's part of what this show's about, you know. It's me like learning new skills, and currently I suck at it, but eventually I will less. Now that I've got that, I'm going to put a little indent right here where my arm is going to be. Got these random Portuguese kids. That was entertaining. I'm hoping they weren't saying anything really offensive. And if they did, I apologize to anybody who might have got offended, because I do not know who they are. I kept hearing the word black. I don't know if the Portuguese word for black and Spanish are the same. Sounded kind of like Spanish, but I didn't understand it as well as I normally feel like I would have understood Spanish. I mean, my Spanish is rusty, but I mean, I could mostly get the gist. And that was a little off. And my Portuguese is non-existent. I had to use a little bit when I was in Portugal, but honestly, not as much as I probably should have or could have. Everybody kind of just spoke English, so I didn't really get a lot of chances to really hone in on that. I feel like this is not as sharp as I would like it to be. Arm's coming along. looked up recently. I was like, I wonder who would be like kind of the god that, if somebody was wood carving or working with wood in ancient times, or I guess in like Greece and Rome, who would it be? You know, maybe it'd be a boat builder, or you know, somebody who was building a boat would pray to this person. I mean, wood carving is probably just Neolithic. It's probably one of the oldest, you know, stone carving, wood carving. I guess it'd be like Hephaestus, maybe. God of the hearth, the smith, the fire. It's recommended when carving after about, I don't know, 30 minutes to kind of give your hand a break and kind of hone up your blade again, strop your blade just a little bit. After about, depending on your wood, of course, 25, 30 minutes of carving, your blade will start to dull, so you'll start really tearing up your work. I'm trying to round off these shoulders a bit. Is it working? Kind of. He still looks questionable. All right. I've enjoyed this journey of wood carving with whittling. I would say that I have gotten a lot better than I originally was when I first started it. Now, taking breaks, of course. Oh, it's so dry. Taking breaks, I think, will kind of affect it a little bit, but maybe not too much once you get to a certain kind of level of expertise, you know. You have a grandpa who's sitting on the porch, you know, he might not do it all the time, but when he gets a little free time, he might get up there and do it a little bit. Jan, what's going on? I don't do any of this for like money or fame or any of that. I've kind of tried to keep myself from getting money. You know, I'm sure on some platforms where there is a huge market, the one you guys are watching on, you know, people sell blades, people sell the wood, they sell all this stuff, and they use their platform or their wood carving or their whittling as a way to sell it and make a little money back. I've thought about it, and I've had a couple friends say, hey man, this is something you need to do, but I don't know. I never really got into trade skills to make money. I've actually kind of kept myself, in a sense, from making money. As weird as that sounds. So on the Purple platform, I would say within the first 6 months, maybe less than that, 3 to 5 months, we were already met, you know, basically our criteria to be monetized. But if you do that, then you can't multi-stream, and I want to try to get out to as many people as possible, you know, whoever wants to see this or whoever would get value out of this. That was kind of the goal. So especially when I was doing interviews and, you know, I had a blacksmith on the show or I had a glass blower on the show, you know, my hopes is that I would eventually have a budding glass worker or somebody who was interested in that, maybe through the interview could give them a little bit of value as far as like where to start, or you know, they could pop in and ask questions. That was kind of the ultimate goal with it, you know, and it wasn't to get money. I was interested in a lot of things, being a person with ADHD, a lot of hobbies, a lot of quick passions I get into, I guess you could call them that. I don't know if you would call them passions you're only into them for a short while. But I would get really into something and dive into it head deep and learn as much as I can from it. And I knew that I didn't have, an infinite amount of time. So I figured the next best thing, I don't have all the time to be a master of blacksmith, a blacksmithing or metalworking master. I don't have all the time to be a bow builder or a luthier or, a musician. I don't, I have all of these interests. I can dabble. So I figured the next best thing would be to interview these guys. And that's what I did. And I added beer into the mix. So it was really cool to see how the conversation started off extremely professional. And after, 2 beers, people kind of loosen up a bit. And after 4 beers, a little more. And then when we're on our 6th beer, we go from talking about the actual craft, which we still do from time to time throughout the interview, but we start talking about existential crises, or we'll talk about never politics, but we basically get extremely off subject. Might talk about bowel movements, or might play fun games, or talk about Bigfoot or aliens, conspiracies, and I really like how I've coined it that, beer is the lubricant for conversation. So it kind of gets people loose. It loosens things up. It gets conversation going. And I got a lot of value out of it. I love doing that. And excuse me. I'm hoping at some point to get back to that. So once I'm at a normal schedule, I feel comfortable enough, I will have a whittler on here or a wood carver, and they can look at my stuff and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's great entry-level stuff, and we can carve together, and they can give me pointers, and we can talk about kind of how he got into it, whether it was his, for some reason I just always think it's somebody's grandpa sitting out on a porch that kind of got people into it. I'm not positive, but that's just, when I think about whittling, that's that slow kind of porch time carving is really what comes to mind. I also follow a lot of people on social media who I think are really good. So I don't know if that's something you guys might be interested in, for me to bring them up, as far as hey, if you like wood carving, or you're thinking about getting interested, you should check out this person on YouTube, or you should check out this person on this platform, or whatever. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that. I definitely can do that. Let's line up these shoulders. I think I'm right about here. Oh, that worked through so much better. I guess I have to kind of follow the... Yeah, if that's something you think you would like for me just to kind of mention other people I kind of follow, or maybe get tutorials from, or people that I just think are great at it. If it's something you think you might be interested in, just let me know. Pop in the comments or send me a direct message. Any of that works. I'm down for all of that. I'll end up seeing it eventually and responding. I'm pretty good about that. I'm trying to work this back out a bit. And right about there. Find the groove and try to stay within it. I'm trying to work out this spine. Well, that's an uneven spine. He got scoliosis. Cool. Let's go a little deeper on this back. One of the interesting things I've found, and it's just not just about wood carving, it's just about anything that you're learning brand new. I don't know, you can't be too hard on yourself, you know, because you are learning. But I will put so much pressure on something and just like tear through it, man. So much so that I have to take the wood back a bit, like pull it away from myself and be like, what am I doing? That happens often. Would that Fletch the dang man join? That Fletch? That Fletcher? That boy Fletcher? Some reason I mean, I guess Fletcher likes a good meme. I couldn't picture him being just somebody who hangs out on that platform. But he do like a good meme, you know. So maybe that's why he's there. These are looking like booty cheeks in the back. Trying to give myself like nice controlled cuts. But yeah, sometimes I'll do too much and I'll have to just stand back from the wood a bit and look at it and be like, what the hell am I doing? Those look like booty cheeks. Especially a back and a spine. Because there's always this like big dip back there. Take some meat off this. It'll probably look a little right once I like make it a little less square. That's what's one of the interesting things about wood carving is trying to see the negative, you know, see through the negative space, or try to look at a block and figure out what you need to take away to make you know, whatever it is that you're making. And my brain isn't quite trained for that, which makes it an interesting practice. I'm a drawer, so I take something that's blank and I add to it to give me what I want. You know, sketching, drawing, like sculpting, and not carving, but like sculpting, using putty to make something. You know, you just add to it. You add, and then it eventually looks like what you want. And for me, stuff like that is not difficult at all. But wood carving definitely makes me think a little bit differently. anybody who's like followed this for a while, they're like, dude, how fucking long are you going to be carving on this damn alien? And the answer is as long as it takes, my man. As long as it takes. I chunked the hell out of that one. Watch is dying. I don't have one of those fancy smart watches. I want it just to count my steps and tell me the time. I'm trying to manage how many steps I get at work because we walk a lot. So 10,000 steps is pretty common. Saturday was like, I don't know, 18,000. I think it was closer to 18,000. So I was getting my steps that day. Sound like an old man talking about how many, getting in my steps, you know. Last week I got in 10,000 steps. Doctor said it's good for my arthritis and for my knees. Oh my God. His back looking like a booty. Do backs look like booties? Do I need to go to source material to see why this guy's back looks like a booty? I mean, there's not a source material for this per se because, well, I'm just kind of winging it. I generally know what an alien looks like. I've had my booty, I've seen them a couple times, you know, so I know what they look like, but this one's not looking right. Let's get this spine worked out some more. I watched the Christian Bale Moses movie today. That was interesting. Didn't even know he made that. It must have flopped. Or it must have come out at a bad time. Or I don't really like biblical type shows. So it probably just like, you know, didn't pique my interest, so I just forgot about it right off the rip. I will say that's kind of changed. Alicia and I started watching, I think we watched the show House of David, and we're like, yo, this is actually really good. Like, all of these actors and the production quality is actually really good. So we finished the first season of that, and at the time, the second season wasn't out. And we're like, okay, cool. And then I think I come home from work one day, and I see her watching The Chosen, which, I mean, my mom's rambled on about The Chosen forever, and I think, like, I love my mom, but I think it just wasn't really my cup of tea, you know? I didn't really want to watch a biblical show. But, you know, Alicia was watching it, so I sat down and I was like, actually, these actors are really good. Like, this is, even if you aren't a religious person, you still can, like, find this interesting. It still is an interesting story. So that's what we did. And I think the show, we've gotten pretty far in it, to be honest. We kind of started to actually really like it. And my mom, of course, got excited when I told her we were watching it, because she goes to the conferences and, like, she meets the people and takes pictures of them, and she, like, fangirls, you know. Most people want to go to a Comic-Con and meet Robert Downey Jr. She wants to go and, like, meet Jesus. Potato, right? My Iron Man is your Jesus. But yeah, and I found the show actually was pretty good. Like, actors, everybody did a really good job. So it was very likable. That's a good story. Again, even if you aren't somebody who is religious, I think you still can find value in it. If you're somebody who likes history, and even if you don't believe all of the stuff that is, in the Bible, there are historical accounts of things that happened outside of biblical works that line up with stuff that, they were saying was happening. So various kings and things that happened. So if you're a history buff, you'll probably like it too. That is a difficult spot there to get into. I wonder if I spoke to a wood carver, how they would tell me they would do that. That is not an easy area to kind of get into. I guess it's, it's part of what the game is, you're just learning. I'm trying to put in enough pressure without like chopping off part of his arm. I don't think I can really get in here too well with this. I think it's a little too wide. Yeah, probably. Let's back out of that one. Abort. All right, still working on the alien. Back's coming in good, looking nice and backy. I'll probably, after this episode, pull up some source material. I'll probably type in alien back and hope that I don't get alien fan service or something, but we'll try, to try to really get this back lined up right. Gotta create some space here. I don't like tearing this thing up. He's gonna look like an abomination. Guys, use free carving is not for everybody. It is not for everybody. I am doing a number on this guy. It is not 100% turning out what I kind of had in mind, but I will say on a positive note that it is all part of the learning experience. You suck for a while and then you just suck less, and then eventually you're like, hey, that was actually pretty good. Take some material off this arm. Yeah, he's gonna look like a total abomination. So it's basically from here up. So that's the bottom of the solar plex, or the bottom of the ribs. That'll be going into the stomach, and then the arm, the arm. That's supposed to be like the back. I have some work to do on that, but I took too much material off, like right here, and so his waist is gonna look a bit dodgy. I didn't have a really good way to like get in here and create some separation. I don't think I could just keep chopping wedges into this thing. I think that's the path. That up a little bit. Made his arm a little too thin. Yeah, that arm's gonna be pencil thin. It's okay, it's part of the learning process. Round it off a bit. Ribs. So there'll probably be an indention in here. Make sure I square it up a bit. Probably use a tool like this and try to busty. So I made this indention in here to kind of act as like the center of the ribs. And then I'm just taking off more material because I don't want it to be that deep, but I want to know that it's there. I love when the wood kind of sits there for a bit and you can tell what's not been carved in a while because it's a little darker. So it allows me to see kind of what I'm taking off a little easier. That's why a lot of people will draw, continuously draw on their art or their project so they can constantly see what material they're taking off. I wouldn't recommend holding the blade like this unless you have some good gloves on. These won't be included in any kind of kits you find online. Most of the ones you get online are going to look probably something like this, which they're Kevlar. They work okay. They work okay, but you definitely will cut the shit out of yourself. A blade will tear through that. It might keep you from cutting your finger off, but that's about it. I have these ridiculous Daniel Tiger songs in my head. My kid likes Daniel Tiger, so I have the Snowflakes song in my head, or Snowflake Day. It's snowing on Snowflake Day. They don't say like Christmas. I guess they're just trying to be all inclusive. It's like an extension of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, or a sequel. So they try to be all inclusive to all religions and beliefs. So they do like Thank You Day, or instead of Thanksgiving they do Snowflake Day. They have them for all of the major ones, for Valentine's Day and so on. Sesame Street don't give a shit. They just do straight up 12 Days of Christmas. He likes Sesame Street as well, specifically Elmo. Take off some more material right here. I want his arms just to sit a little further back. And actually, I hate that I carved back here, carved into the arm, because the back goes straight into the arms. So it's fixed. It's probably not fixable. Like right here, you want your back to almost completely go right into the arms. What's going on, guys? I don't know if it's going to do. It's probably not going to register. This is... yeah. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with me. Man, I hate that I took too much off of the back, because it really is going to make his arms look strange. I can always just like kind of work into it. It's probably a bad decision. And make his back just a little bit smaller. I normally don't advise the technique, what I call chunking. It's kind of like working against the grain and taking off just a little more material than you probably need to. I wouldn't advise it unless you actually do need to take off a good bit of material, because it's literally ripping the wood. So if you're in you're trying to do like small detailing work, it's not ideal, because you can take off more than you want and make it look funky. Let's get in here and take some of this out of here. Yeah. It's a horrible looking back, but you know, it is what it is. Oh yeah. You know what I could do? It's not ideal, but I could just like make him a very squatty alien, so I can make that just like his belly and that his back, and I could like carve a little booty in there and make those like his little feet, and he's got like long arms. I think that's a cop-out, but I think that might be one of the only ways to make it look like just not a complete failure. Like Cowboy Alien, he turned out good, but you know, I didn't have to do arms or anything like that. I kind of pictured him with a giant poncho on, like The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. So I was like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to see his arms anyways. That was kind of my idea with that. And I was like, you know what? I probably could do arms. Not so well. Not so well. So, yeah. This is what I get. This is what you give me to work with. But honey, I've seen worse. We're gonna turn this sow's ear into a silk purse. Let's try to get these shoulders a little more. It literally just goes right back into the... I think the only way to save him is to make him chibi. I think it is. We're going chibi. May God have mercy on my soul. Big old gash right there, because I want to carve into it. I'm trying to make feet, boys. better tool that can get in here and I gotta place the puzzle. All right. Let's try this again. Cool. We're back. Sorry. This one platform, after an hour, will require you to match puzzle pieces to make sure you're not like just like AFK streaming. Maybe this will work. Okay, that looks like little feet. He's not perfect, but he's we're doing our best. Sucks. I probably should honestly sharpen that one up. We'll get this guy out. That is some dirty carbon there. It's not ideal, but yeah. Hey, thanks. Thank you. Doing what I can. Trying to carve a little stumpy leg alien. I mean, he looks like what he's supposed to look like, honestly. guess since it's a belly now, I can kind of tone it back a bit. Excuse me. I hate how, like, dirty's not the right phrase, but there's all of these like nooks and crannies down here that I can't really get to. I don't have a blade small enough. I almost need like a small sander. I mean, I've got one, like a Dremel sander or something, but it's all these like tiny little cuts that I need to clean up. All right, so he's got a little belly on him. I'm going to straighten his back, so give him like almost a non-existent back, and then give him a little booty. So take all this in. I guess it's one of the pluses of free carving is that you can kind of just go willy-nilly. If it doesn't work out how you want, you try to reimagine it or turn something. What did Bob call it? Happy mistakes. Yeah, we're making all of these happy mistakes. And happy mistakes led to an alien with a booty. So there's a couple of you platforms that I don't know if you've commented. I don't see it over here. Usually it's pretty good about popping up, but I have had times when it did not. So I'm hoping I can see all of you guys' comments as they come in. Put some severe crack on this this thing. This would be a good way for me to test my ability to round off. Because honestly, I'm not the best at that. I do my best, but it's something I need to work on. Being able to round something off. Make a little lip underneath. We getting there, boys. All right. All right, maybe I need to strop this a bit because my cuts are starting to look a little jagged, and then we don't want that. So gotta get over here and put some stank on this blade again. Let's get these out of the way before I stab myself with them. This is the third time I've stropped it this episode. So I did it initially when I first started the episode, and after about 30 minutes, and then we're at the about hour mark, so it would probably behoove me to go ahead and hit this up again. If you guys are watching on this platform, if you search me on other platforms, Trade Skills or Trade Skills P, as in podcast, or Trade Skills Podcast, Trade Skills, look around, find me. I find you'll have a better experience than some of the other platforms. I think that might hurt my algorithm on this one, but I mean, there's multiple cameras working on these other ones. Like this one over here is a vertical camera. So people are seeing what's down here, and then, you know, the moneymaker up here. And then this other platform, they've got the carving, which is why people may be watching. And then my face is down at the bottom right. But the audio is so much better. I mean, this, you're not hearing me on this. This is for the other guys. I tried to get it working, and then it denied me through the app. It said it gave me access, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'd love to run that platform and have all of these look exactly the same. And it let me do 1, maybe 2 episodes, and then it like denied it. Don't know why, but it's the first letter of the other platform. So I could say the color. So there's a red platform, and that's Trade Skills P, or no, I think that's actually Trade Skills Podcast. I think there was one that was formerly a bird, and now it's a letter, and we were live streaming on that, but they stopped it. And that's Trade Skills P, I think. My mom just popped in on this one. There's a purple one platform. Say a lot of streamers go on that one to play video games, and that one is Trade Skills. And there's one that was originally designed for college students, and it's blue icon, and that is that icon. That's this one as well. So I think I'm going out to 4 different things right now. Like I said, I'm not really trying to make money. It's not really something I'm seeking. Just exposure. So if somebody likes my kind of weird, or if they're interested in wood carving, or if they're interested in skill learning, they will, they might find my show interesting, or yeah, it's was kind of always the goal. I gotta quit taking it all the way up to the neck. It's killing me. And sorry, I saw your comment kind of late. This platform right here is not really good. I can't really see your comments too well. I can see, if I like look in, I can see people pop in, but I can't really see your comments too well. It doesn't do well to separate the what's in the background in the comment. So maybe they should work on that. Trying to get these booty cheeks lined up right. You could make stick shift heads for manual vehicles. It's true. I'm not really trying to I'm not trying to make money. The ideal of my show is for me to go from zero knowledge of a skill to being somewhat proficient, and then hopefully eventually interviewing somebody within that skill. And then once I feel I've reached a decent amount of proficiency, I'm going to learn a new skill, whether that is mosaics or sculpting or pottery, sewing. I've got a couple lined up. Maybe like simple metalworking or simple glassworking. Like obviously I can't get like big ass shop to be able to do that kind of stuff. I've interviewed people like that in past episodes, but I mean, that's whenever you dive into it fully. That's when you fully commit to a single skill. And I'm really just trying to become decent at a bunch of them. I don't know, man. I feel like that cake isn't quite right. So I was trying to do just like a very basic looking alien from like the kind of like mid stomach to the top of his head, you know. That was kind of like the original idea. And I got some of my proportions wrong for the arms and messed up the stomach, and then messed up the neck. I messed up a couple things, and I said, you know what, we're gonna make him like a squatty little alien with a little booty and a belly, and that's kind of where I'm at now. Just trying to round off the booty to make it bootylicious. Trying to round off some of these angles. Make it not such a square ass, you know. We don't want that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So you got a little booty on him. Kind of looks like square boobs or like a chest. So I see like a belly and a little booty on him. It's not quite there yet. I'm gonna create this big old gap right here so there's a bit of separation. Sorry, this is boring. I'm not really talking a lot. I'm just kind of like focusing on trying to make this booty the best booty it can be, under my skill set. We're doing our best. Try to make these legs a little thinner without ripping the wood, which I just did. We're getting there, man. What's up, Kayla? Hello there. Hello from the other platform. Hello. Do you find that the view is a little bit better on this? Do you find the audio maybe is a little bit better? Let me know what you think. You're on the purple platform. Yeah, the audio should be a bit better. I paid, when I made a lot more money, I paid a ridiculous amount of money for a better audio system. Have I perfected it? No, because I mean, that's another skill you have to learn. Audio is a skill on its own, and it's a full mixer with all kind of MIDI control, and I can modify this microphone to, make it whatever I want, make it sound like whatever I want, make it sound like a radio personality, or make it sound like a 1950s radio personality, or World War II radio personality. I think with that, you just have to kind of like...
This coming up. Stalin has over.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. That probably was fucking obnoxious. I'm sorry. I don't know what that sounds like. I know what it sounds like to me, but actually hearing it on a microphone, no telling. Try to round out this booty a bit. There must be some kind of lag, because I haven't seen your responses if my audio or if the experience in general is better on this platform. I know as far as memes go, and just general entertainment, I think that the platform you were on was probably the better one. You can scroll through for hours and find all kinds of ridiculous stuff. But I think my options as a streamer, I think maybe I have more on this platform you just went to. Hideous little elf man. I don't know. Does that look like a little booty? Does that look like a little dunk? A little dunk in the back? I suppose I should probably try to... I haven't done much with his face, so I'm going to come in here and really carefully try to trace out his eye. And it went too far. Okay. Take off lots of the material around the eye, and that's how you give depth to the eye. But I don't want to take off too much material. So in these cases, you have the blade just a couple degrees. Let's go ahead and see if I can draw this eye too and hope that it turns out well. I just cut too much earlier, and I cut some of my original drawing of the eye, so I'm hoping I kind of remembered my general placement. Not so bad. And again, I'm going to come around and kind of just shave the area around the eye. And I don't know if that's like the preferred method for carvers to do when they're doing eyes. I'm still very new at this. It's what kind of makes sense to me. Barely have an angle on here. You just really want to just take off just a couple layers to really make those eyes pop. Oh yeah, cattywampus. All kinds of goofy. All right, I'm going to go in here and do very slight little carves. I really don't want to take the eye off. actually need something. It's kind of like a chisel. No. That would be this guy right here. Let's give a couple test cuts. No, too much of an angle. Let's try that again. See, maybe I just don't know how to use this tool well enough. I essentially want to plane. I want almost to plane the wood. Just take off a very small layer. But this is going too deep, even with a very slight angle. No, that might work. Extremely slight angle. Gouged it instead of. Here is just really bothering me, and I want to get in there and like clean it up, but in doing so I endanger the project. I could cut too much off and cut the eyes off. Detailing for me is some of like kind of the trickier parts. Best viewers. Okay. I'm not trying to just pull in a bunch of people who have no interest in what I'm doing. So I'm not going to take your advice with that one. I don't want to just fill the room. I want people who are actually interested in this. And if they're not, I get it, you know. Wood carving's not for everybody. I can't imagine, 2 years ago how long I would have actually sat through in almost complete silence while this guy just sat here and carved, to be honest. So I get it, you want to be entertaining, but also you need to like focus on the wood. You have a sharp blade that could take off your finger. And you're also learning. You're not a pro, so you're really trying not to make mistakes. So it's not always the most entertaining thing. He's getting there. Buddy is getting there. Tell me, should I make his arms short or should I keep him little lanky arms? He's got like a little belly on him, and then he's got a little donk, a little badonk. So, I don't know. Cute little booty on him, little belly. We're working on him, but that's where he's at so far. Either way, guys, I've been carving for a bit. Had a good time. It is 10:55, so I've hit that 2-hour mark that I was trying not to do anymore, but I was in a good carving spot, and I wanted to keep going, so that's what that is. When was the last time you guys seen one of these? You know what that is? You know what that is? That logo should give it away if you can actually see it. That is a Zune. Radiohead, Earth, Wind and Fire, Billy Swan, Tenacious D. That's playing. Let's probably stop it from playing. Yeah, every once in a while I just kind of want to use a dedicated MP3 player. I know it's like super old and ancient. It's actually, I had to use this old laptop to even be able to use it, because it will not work on Windows 11. I guess the heart works on this. So yeah, this is the Microsoft Zune. It was trying to compete with the iPod Touch and some of the other ones. I like it. I like sometimes just having a device that does one thing really, really well, instead of just having a phone that does all of it, if it makes any sense. Some people get it, some people won't. But this does music really well, and I like bringing it along, and it lasts a long time, and I'm not going to chew up my battery playing music on YouTube, whatever. Anyways, I like using it. It's Zune. It's very nostalgic for me. I love mine a lot, and yeah, here it is. Still works. I had to use this old laptop I got in 2008 with a CD player or a CD drive in it. I have the Zune disc and got it going that way. So anyways, you guys don't care about that. We're getting ready to end it for the night. I've been doing some wood carving, had fun, made a little alien, little belly, little booty. That's our guy. Still learning, but thank you guys for hanging out with me, joining me on this, and it's been fun. And I hope you guys have a great week. I'm hoping to be back soon and doing some more carving. Hopefully I have another project, and yeah, that should be it. Sorry for the long hiatus. I can't promise it's going to be as consistent as it used to be with every Monday. It's just not really how my life works anymore. but I still like it. I still like doing this. It is the reason I bought the house in Nashville, honestly, and one of the reasons I was excited about this place having a basement is for me to have a studio and for me to be able to do creative work. So here we are. Either way, guys, I hope y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all soon. Let's go back to, well, that's not going to do it. I guess I don't have my starting screen anymore. Oh well. Say la vie. We're still live on this one, so if I can get this working.